Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Jess. I'm on the road, y'all, getting these videos out. Okay, so first of all, I'm just gonna do another get ready with me. I'm getting ready to head to work in a second. I was messing with my nose a second ago, so that's why it's red like that. So don't mind that, y'all. But anyways, yeah, I'm getting ready to head to work in a little while. And I wanted to make a video of my favorite jobs or favorite job. I think it might just be maybe one or two that I have as far as my favorite jobs go. So I'm just gonna jump right into it and get to it. So first of all, I started working when I was 16 years old. I had a summer job and I was a laborer. Now, mind you, in my area where I grew up at in Indiana, being a laborer, you automatically got more money because you was outside, you was in the elements, you know, you was cleaning parks. Some people was mowing the lawn, some people was cleaning the restrooms down, doing all this hard, heavy work, picking up trash around the park and stuff like that. So you got paid more. So off the rip, I was in tune with wanting to make more money. This lash is not sitting like the other one. Off the rip, I automatically knew that I wanted to make more money, and I'm just like, okay, cool, I can do this. So I was a laborer. That job was hard. Like, I didn't realize how much sun exposure I was gonna have. So it was like after I did that job for the summertime, I came back to school looking like a I don't know which one to call it. I had got a suntan, like my picture, and it's nothing wrong with me. I love brown skinned people. I love every skin tone. But for me, going from this to like, I was looking like an overbaked cookie. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought it was funny, but I really looked like a totally different person. So when I used to show my school ID, my teacher used to be like, well, what did you do over the summer? I'd be like, I was working, okay? I was working. Getting to the money, okay? So basically, yeah, that was my first job. I was a laborer for Parks and Recreation. I mean, it was slavish, but you know, it was what it was. That was my first job. I was happy. I was content because I was, you know, making money. And I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Did I have any crazy stories with that one? No, I think the only thing that happened with me was, now mind you, I was young, and I was working with another girl, and we're actually still pretty good friends to this day. They had told us our assignment for the day was to go and clean this restroom that was inside of the park. So we went and we spraying toilets down, mopping floors, wiping mirrors down and stuff. And we was like, yeah, we got this done so quick. And that was so much fun. You know, we was, you know, young and dumb, you know. So come to find out, the cleaner and disinfectant that we was using to clean the bathroom that we thought was disinfected, it was actually gasoline. So we had wiped down the whole entire bathroom with gasoline. So we had to rush back to the restroom, re-wipe everything down, make sure we had the right spray, first of all. Because, you know, when you send young people out by themselves, like, it was just us two. So we was like, okay, you know, we got our basket right here with our little cleaning products. How was we supposed to know it was gasoline? We ain't open it up and smell it and all that. We weren't doing all that. Y'all told us to go to the restrooms, do what we had to do, and come back here to the garage, okay? And that's what we did. So, yeah. I thought that was hilarious. But scary at the same time, you know? Maybe I could do this up there. It was kind of scary at the same time. But yeah. I definitely wouldn't say it was one of my favorite jobs. It was just one of them ones where, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do type of thing when you're 16 years old and all your other friends hanging out and stuff, and you're just like, I'd rather work. So I think that's where my first job, it sparked my immediate interest in wanting to make money. So the next job I had after that, I think I might have been I worked for a center, like, you know, one of them community centers. I was like a rec aid or something, helping the kids play, getting them materials and stuff, or toy, like ropes and basketballs and games and, excuse me, and stuff like that. Y'all see my candles in the back? I'm official, y'all. I got candles in the back. Yeah, but I helped with that. I gave them lunch. It was a group of us. We, you know, something else through Parks and Recreation. I mean, that job was cool. It was cool. You know, you always had to keep yourself busy. You can't just be sitting back looking like you ain't doing nothing. And this, that, and the other. You can't come to work looking crazy. You got to have your Park and Recreation shirt on. Now, that job I had with my best friend, and we're still really, really good friends to this day. I think we've been friends for damn near 20 years. And that's going to be my friend until I die. So shout out to my best friend, Princess. Hey, girl. But yeah, we had fun. I think I used to walk to that job. Like my house was, boy, either I was really bored or I just really wanted to have that job, because I walked to that job, I think, almost every day. Either that or I was catching the bus. Either one. Definitely wouldn't say that was my favorite either, because working with other people's kids, ooh, let's go on to the next job. Okay, so then, you know, I was working, like I said, I started at 16, and then I went further on, and I graduated from high school, and then I ended up moving to Tennessee with my aunt, and I worked at Walmart for a year. Now, Walmart, that was my favorite job, because it was like, you know, being a cashier and like getting people, you know, it was like you was controlling the crowd type of thing, like, you know, scanning people out. I was like, man, this is the shit. And I'm getting paid how much? Yeah, let me get that. Let me get it. So yeah, I think Walmart, that may have been one of my favorites. It may have been. I think I was like 18 years old when I started working there. And I worked there for a year, and I thought it was the best thing ever. We had our little break room. You know, you do your job. If you got overtime, come do your job, go home, see you tomorrow type of thing. So yeah, I think Walmart is definitely on the top of my list for my favorites. Okay. So much fun. I met a lot of nice people. Yeah, I don't think I had any crazy stories there. I think I got sick there one time really bad. I don't know if I had the flu, or stomach flu or something, virus or something. I don't know, but I got sick one time and it was really bad. But other than that, I love Walmart, and I still do to this day. So then fast forward, I get myself into college. I was living in a dorm, so I wasn't at home anymore. So I started working at FedEx. Ooh, they used to work me, okay? They used to work me. You hear me? Like, I thought being a laborer was slavish. Like, when I first started at FedEx, I was unloading trucks. Now, mind you, I'm in college. I'm young, you know what I'm saying? They was like, you know, you can come to work. You can come jeans, t-shirt, this, that, and the other. Mind you, I ain't know I was going to be getting inside the trucks. I thought I was going to have a little cute little scanner. Like, oh, boop, boop, boop. They was like, we need you over here in this truck. Come on over here in this semi-truck. Wait a minute. So y'all mean to tell me y'all want me inside the truck, like unloading stuff? They was like, yeah, this way you gonna start here. Here go your trainer, he right here. You know, he gonna be helping you do whatever. I said, okay. So now when they told me I could wear jeans, they didn't say what kind of jeans. So I had on some, you know, there's probably too tight jeans. So I really couldn't even climb into the truck, because the truck was like, it was like they backed the trucks up into the little thing or whatever. Then it's like the ground, the truck is up here, and you got to step your foot up there. So I was like struggling to get inside the truck because my jeans was too tight. It was just a hot mess when I first started. So then I got promoted to a loader. I went from unloading to loading, and I like loading. It was all right. It was real physical. You know what I'm saying? It was, you know, it was tough, but FedEx would definitely not be my favorite. Then I started working for a company that was based around disabled people. And I definitely had some experiences there that I did not like, and I was just like, I'm over it. I got threatened. A lady pulled me by my hair. She scratched me on my chest when I was trying to help her get into the shower. She used to dig into her diaper and fling doo-doo everywhere. And I was just like, this is a little too much for me. I got to go. I think I stayed there for like 3 months, and then I started having problems with my car and stuff. So I was like, I can't come back. I'm not coming back here. Are y'all crazy? You got people yelling and screaming and hitting you, and you got to restrain them and stuff and do all this. I'm not into that. I'm not into that. Give me some. This is not my speed. It's just not my speed. Okay. Give me something else. Give me something else. Let's try this again. Okay. Definitely not my favorite. Next, I work for a security company. I stayed with this security company for a year. I was working at the steel mill. I mean, it was cool. It was cool, a cool job. I mean, you come in, you do your overtime if you want to do overtime, this, that, and the other. Only thing I didn't like about the security job, working for the steel mill or working at the steel mill, was the fact that when you did like 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., like you had to watch this big ass boat. You had to sit there, like you had a little cargo thing. They pulled up on wheels. It's got a heater, outlets. Then you got your little porta potty off to the side somewhere. That's it. You're the only person sitting next to this lake in a big ass boat. Now, one thing I can say about that job, well, it was this guy that used to come through. I forget his name, but he used to come through and bring us these gourmet dinners. I said, yes, bring it. I mean, turkey, ham, chicken, potato salad, sweets, cookies, pies, anything you wanted. He had it in his car. He used to come on through. I'll let you come through. I'm gonna search your car so I can see what you got to eat up here. Okay, so that was one of the perks. Definitely not one of my favorite jobs. I used to work at Applebee's. Now, when I started working at Applebee's, I believe I was working at the YMCA too. Then my crazy self, now this is when I had no kids, I had no children. My crazy self messed around and had 3 jobs at one time, okay? Listen to this. I was working the YMCA from like 9 to 4. I would go into Applebee's from like 5 to 9 or something like that. Then I would do Speedway from 10 until like 6 in the morning. And I don't know what possessed me to do that job, but I was working 3 jobs at one time. But yeah, the money was good, of course, but I was killing myself. Who in the world told me it was okay to work 3 jobs? I still had time to hang out with my friends. I still had time to do, you know what I'm saying? I was living my life like it's golden, I was getting to it, okay? Now, the YMCA, I think I might have stopped working there because it just wasn't paying enough. I like working with the kids. I had experiences working with kids and stuff like that, so I didn't have nothing bad to say or nothing negative. Hold that thought. Yeah. What is it?
The water tree makes some noise downstairs.
Okay. All right, y'all. Let's take a brief intermission. So what job was I on? I think I was on, when I was working at Applebee's, YMCA, and Speedway. Yeah, so like I said, I don't know who told me it was okay for me to work 3 jobs, but your girl was tired, but I was feeling fulfilled. I had my own apartment. I was just doing it. Okay. I think once I quit the YMCA, I ended up staying with Applebee's, and I quit Speedway. Then I went from working at Applebee's to working Meijer. I quit at Meijer because they had me messed up. They was doing a little too much for me. You know, I understand that, you know, when you come to work, you're supposed to be in the uniform that they tell you to be in. And I had just so happened this day that I was working at Meijer, I had forgot my pants. So I went into the store before I got on the clock and bought me some more pants. But they just so happened to be like what they call them? Not capris. They wasn't like super short. They was closer to my ankle than my knee. So I was like, oh, okay, they're beige. You know, I still got my name tag. I still got my shirt, the right shirt. So I'm like, okay, I should be cool. So I get ready to clock in and start checking people out. And one of the managers came up to me and she was like, oh my God, you can't, when you're done checking people out, just stay behind your register because such and such is gonna be so angry that you came in here with these pants on. These are not the right pants. I'm like, what? I'm like, what you mean stay behind here? Because, you know, after you done checking people out, you supposed to walk in the middle lane, in the middle of your lane, wipe it down, keep it clean, whatever. And, you know, stand there and let people know that you're open for them to come to you and them to get checked out. She was like, no, you just stay here. I'll get the customers to come to you. Oh, really? Okay, then. Well, how about this? How about when I go on my break, I just don't come back? And that's exactly what I did. Exactly what I did, because it had pissed me off for the last time that day, okay? Then I went from Meijer to working at a prison. I know that's like a major jump, right? But I stayed there for like, 3 years? I seen a lot of weird things working there. It definitely wasn't my favorite job. I seen a whole lot of weird things. I seen people that I grew up with in there. I've seen, you know, a lot of people in high ranking positions do a lot of dirty stuff to people and step on people just to get to the top, to be like a sergeant or lieutenant or whatever. I didn't want none of that. I was offered those positions or the sergeant position a few times and I turned it down. I'm like, cause y'all grimy, y'all, nope, I don't want it. And I stayed there for 3 years, like I said, and that was it. I mean, it wasn't the best time of my life and it wasn't the worst time of my life, but it was a job. So then I went to prison to work in a property management job. That wasn't my favorite either. I stayed there for about 2.5 years, which was just as of recently. I stayed there working, seen a lot of weird people. Management was cool. I didn't really have an issue with nobody, hardly. Like I said, it wasn't my favorite job to have. And in between, once I got to the property manager spot that I was in, I was salaried. And I was just like, I don't know about salary. You know, it's not enough money for me because I got kids and stuff. So, So I ended up doing picking up this grocery job where you basically make your own hours. You deliver groceries whenever you want to. I think it's called point pickup. And you download the app and you give them your car information and all that good stuff. And you start driving and delivering groceries and stuff. And it was with Walmart. And, you know, the tips and stuff was great. Like, what? That's another one of my favorite jobs. And I think it was my favorite job because I could make my own schedule. And I wasn't, like, really clocking in somewhere. I can work as long as I want, do whatever I want to do as far as, you know, doing whatever. But yeah, so then when I ended up losing that job, the property management job, and then I went to Amazon Flex, where it's another job where you make your own schedule and they pay you good money too. Like if it's anybody out there that's trying to find a job where you can make your own hours, get paid good money, I think Amazon Flex is the way to go because you get paid like twice a week. You get paid on a Tuesday and a Friday. And depending on how, now I'm not gonna sit up here and say you could do it here and there, everywhere. If you really dedicate it and you wanna make some money, getting paid like $200-300 every 2 days, like, come on now, you can't beat that. Tuesday and Friday you get paid every week, okay? This is how much they need people, like, I think if I would have stayed, and I think I'm gonna still be in and out. Like if I'm getting ready to go on vacation or something, and I need to make some extra money, that's where I'm gonna go, because Amazon Flex, like I said, you get paid Tuesday and Friday. So, they got the grocery side, which is through Whole Foods. Then they got the Amazon side where you just delivering the packages for Amazon. The Amazon packages is a set price, like $55, depending on what day it is, I think. And that's per, group. I can't even talk. That's per delivery session. You know what I'm saying? You get like 17 to 18 packages. They try to keep you mainly in one area to deliver all these packages and stuff like that. So that's that. But the Whole Food side, shit, you can go from anywhere from $30 up to like $87. And that's just for one batch delivery. Now, one thing I can say that's like a little bit of a negative for Amazon Flex is you're going to put some miles on your car. It's going to be some miles on that body, okay? Okay? It's going to be some miles on that body. I forgot I was doing my makeup. It's going to be some miles on your car, okay? So, if you're going to do it, should I put this on, y'all? I'm still trying to heal my head. Y'all see that? If y'all didn't see my last video, go look at the video before last. I'm still trying to heal up where I snatched myself bald at from that lace front wig. Can't get bad at nobody but myself. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Amazon Flex it's a really good job. It's like I said, if you like making your own schedule, you don't mind putting miles on your car, or you keep up with the maintenance, because I keep up with the maintenance on my car, so I wasn't worried about the miles and all that stuff. The only thing I didn't like is that it's going to push me outside of my warranty, and I ain't really like that. But that's okay. That's cool, too. Yeah, I think that might be it. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I only had one favorite job from what I can remember. I think I said Walmart was one of my favorites. And then the grocery jobs, like them type of jobs are my favorite, like automatically, because you don't have nobody standing over you, barking orders at you, all this other stuff. You get to make your own schedule, like I said. And, oh man. Y'all disregard all that noise in the background. I think I hear a fire alarm or fire, whatever you want to call it, like 3-4 times a day. Okay, hopefully it's not nothing detrimental when somebody dying or something, you know what I'm saying? But it'd be a lot of noise in the neighborhood. I'd be like, ugh. I think at the age I'm at now, I just don't like a lot of noise. Y'all know what I'm saying? Am I the only person that's like that? I just don't like it. I don't like a lot of noise. But yeah. My favorite jobs, I mean, I've held a lot of jobs. And it may have been some that I forgot to mention. And they just weren't that doggone memorable. You know what I'm saying? The moral to this story is get a job. Especially around this time, you know what I'm saying? Hiring like crazy, okay? Hiring like crazy. The job I'm at now, I work for a retail store. Or is it retail, or what is it considered? Goods and services or something? I don't know. I'm a manager. And I go into any job with a positive attitude. I don't care if it's something that I was looking for, or if it was just something I had to get real quick to get some more money coming in. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna always be positive about what I got going on. I don't care about what you got going on, what you got going on, what you got going on. I don't care, because I'm checking this bag. This bag is gonna get checked, okay? But yeah, I think that's it. I think my other video was like 14 minutes, so I made it past the 10-minute mark, y'all. Woo. But don't forget to, oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna finish the rest of this up, but I'm gonna stop talking though, because I feel like if I keep talking, I'm gonna forget what I'm doing. And yeah, put my little milk thing back in here. Where is the concealer? I think I might put on some eyeshadow too. Ready to turn on some music.